Some of the most controversial and incendiary proposals Donald Trump made whilst running for president disappeared from his campaign website today. People read the tea leaves. Was this a softening, a pulling back? Was Trump becoming conciliatory? No, said a spokesperson later. It was a technical glitch. One of the links that vanished temporarily was to a December 7 proposal titled Donald J. Trump's Statement on Preventing Muslim Immigration, in which he called for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States. Whatever Trump's position on that policy now, he wouldn't answer questions on it today. It made Islamophobia mainstream in the US. Samir Khalaf is the national president of the American Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee.
He has now normalized the darkest of thoughts that people have ever had. He has gone to the worst of our society, those that have complete hatred in their hearts, told them, well, other people may have told you you're wrong, or you're insensitive, or you shouldn't be saying these things. But now, what he's telling them is that it's normal, because if a candidate and now president-elect of the most powerful country in the world can say them freely, then certainly you can say them. And unfortunately, certainly they take the liberty of not only saying them, but acting upon them. So that's sort of the problem. We've seen, actions of hate up and down the spectrum. We've had buildings being spray painted, religious institutions, businesses. We've had people being caustic, either verbally or physically. And that's just happened, and it's getting a lot worse since the election happened. So, we'll see. We're monitoring to see where this goes. Maybe it's only just something that's just people getting caught up in the moment, or this may be a long-term trend. We don't know.
And so how do you feel now, and the people you are speaking on behalf of, and that's millions of people, how helpless do you feel? How frightened do you feel? How alarmed do you feel? What is your response to all of this, the position you find yourselves in and the people you are speaking on behalf of find themselves in America?
Well, look. I think right after the announcement came out, maybe even early the next day, we were more in sort of a waking daze. Not really believing what had just happened. I think that's true for many people in the country, not just those of the Arab Americans and the Muslim Americans, but many people were sort of in a daze, and this whole idea of we don't know what's going to happen next. Was he serious about what he was talking about, or was this just a ploy to get elected? Sort of standing at the edge of the abyss, not knowing what's down there. And so that's sort of that fear of the unknown. Then we start hearing things start trickling out about who he's looking at, pointing to various positions of who's part of his, the so-called transition team, and the fear really sets in at that point, because we know who these people are, we know what they stand for, and what agenda they've been pushing, and so a sort of collective chill that goes down everybody's back. Add to that the stories about what's happening. Children, we're getting stories of children who woke up the next morning of the elections crying and fearful of going to school because they said that many of their students in the classroom were Trump supporters, or they come from families of Trump supporters, and they were fearful of what was going to happen to them when they went into school, the bullying, the ridicule, that sort of thing. So that's where sort of we are right now, the fear of the unknown, the fear of the possible bullying, and what effect is this going to have on our children? That's our biggest fear. Is where do we go as a family? Where do we go as a country? And how and what effect it's going to have on our children?
Samir, do you have children?
I do not.
But you would know people with children, right? Lots of them.
Of course. I've got lots of friends. I've got my brothers have children.
Right, and these are American children. And so what do you say to those American children about what America has voted and what is implicit in that?
Look, I always tell people that there is a lot of people who have hopeless feelings in this country and around the world. And, let's not kid ourselves. This is not something that is unique to America. In England, you have the Brexits. In other parts of Europe, you have the far right wing taking over. In other parts of the world, so Australia and whatnot, you have right wing politicians who are being very successful. So this is sort of a phenomenon that's taking over the entire world. And so we try to tell our kids that these are people who have lost a sense of hope, and they will cling to these ideas that their hopelessness is due to other people. And we tried to tell them that these people may not necessarily be evil. It's just that there are people that are influencing them and pointing them into certain directions and advising them that other people are at fault and they're trying to lash out. You try to sort of bring hope to the kids, saying, look, things will get better. Just make sure that you stay above it all, that you do not engage in this sort of back and forth and attack other people and go down to their level. That if they are having issues with certain people, they need to go to the right people. They need to go to their teachers. They need to go to their other parents that may be around, that sort of thing. So there's a sense of trying to at least instill some sort of hope in our children that this too shall pass.
Do you believe that?
You got to have hope. If you don't have hope, what do you have? So I think look, politics anywhere is about a swinging pendulum. Sometimes the left is in power, sometimes the right is in power. The problem is just surviving. So we have 4 years we have to get through right now, and that's sort of our goal right now. 4 years of Donald Trump and his policies. Let's get through it. Let's work as hard as we can to make sure that it's only 4 years.
Samir Khalaf, who is the national president of the American Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee, talking to us earlier this afternoon.